Hi guys, it's Ken with this week's News Refresh. The Detroit Auto Show is winding down, but that doesn't mean automakers are done stealing headlines. Volvo was the first one to catch our attention by boldly pledging that all of their cars will be death-proof by 2020. No, not that death-proof. Instead of making it impossible to die from a crash, they're actually trying to make it impossible for future Volvos to even get into a serious crash in the first place. So I guess crash-proof is more of an appropriate term. They think their autonomous tech will get to the point where it can take over for the driver when the car realizes a crash is imminent, avoiding any possible collisions. Now what's nice about this is, if it actually works flawlessly, it lets the drivers enjoy the safety of an autonomous vehicle while still being able to drive the car for as much as they want. Now, back stateside, Tesla made headlines this week too. You know those crazy falcon wing doors they're putting on their new Model X SUV? Well, it turns out they were too complicated to produce for at least one of their suppliers. Now, in Tesla's view, the doors the Swiss company supplied were defect-prone and sagged below tolerance levels, so they cut the relationship off before the Model X entered the production phase. Now, the problem? Well, the Swiss company continued to make demands for damages and finances from Tesla, which Tesla says they shouldn't have to pay. On the truck side of things, Chevy is making the Silverado Realtree truck concept a reality. We saw them show off the concept version of it in Las Vegas to the media before the 2015 SEMA show. You can check that out here. But responses to this vehicle have been so huge that they're actually going to produce it. Now, the Silverado package will feature exterior Realtree graphics, camo, blacked out bow ties, off-road assist steps, 20-inch wheels, and all-terrain tires. Now, Jeep also announced a new trim, this time in the form of the luxury Overland trim in the small Cherokee SUVs. Large SUVs are getting plushed out left and right, so it's nice to finally see a mid-size SUV get the luxury treatment for once. The biggest story this week was GM announcing that they're starting their own car-sharing service, much like Zipcar. This comes after GM invested $500 million into Lyft and bought Uber's rival Sidecar. GM is calling their new car-sharing service a personal mobility brand called Maven. It'll allow people to conveniently rent GM vehicles whenever they need them, just like Zipcar. GM is clearly hopping onto a trend where urban or young consumers are opting out of car ownership altogether in favor of ride-sharing programs or services like Uber. Now, those were all the biggest automotive news stories this week, but you can let us know which one interests you the most in the comments below. I'm Ken, and you've just been refreshed.